Hello everyone. Today I want to talk about something that I know I have talked about in previous videos, but I've never really gone into any great detail about. So it's actually inspired from a competition by a company called Black Milk Clothing. They recently did a competition on their Facebook page asking people to comment on when they first realised that they identified with their Hogwarts house. And the winner, whoever gave the best answer, won a dress of the house colours in their choice. Black Milk Clothing are launching a Harry Potter collection soon, and it looks absolutely beautiful. So I will leave a link to their website down below if you guys would like to check them out. I think they're an Australian company, so it would probably be quite expensive to ship them outside of Australia. It's certainly really expensive to ship them here anyway, so I don't know if I will be picking up any of the pieces, but they do look so beautiful. So it just kind of made me wonder, when did I realise that I was a Hufflepuff? And when I actually looked up all of the official traits of a Hufflepuff, I realised that yes, I very much identify with pretty much all of them. I sort of feel like people take the Pottermore sorting quiz and then they get their house and then they just kind of accept that as law, and they don't really think about whether they actually identify with that house and whether they would actually belong in that house if they were a real Hogwarts student. So I'm going to go through the typical Hufflepuff traits, and I'm going to let you know why I think that I relate to all of them. So one of the main Hufflepuff traits is loyalty, and I pride myself on being incredibly loyal to my friends, incredibly loyal to anyone I'm in a relationship with. I always feel like I would rather pick my friends over relationships as well, unless my boyfriend or my best friend are the same person. Then obviously that's great, that's obviously everybody's life goal, but I do always feel much more comfortable with my friends there who lift me up when I'm down. I know that they are the ones that will always be there for me, and I really will defend them to the end. If anybody ever hurts them, if anybody ever says anything bad about them, I have no problem in speaking up for them, and that's really something that I strive to put across to anyone who does become my friend or anyone I do enter into a relationship with. Another great Hufflepuff trait is dedication, and basically I just put everything into everything that I do, whether that be work, friendships, relationships, literally anything. I will try my absolute hardest and I will persevere until it's done, and I just love doing that, which obviously comes into another Hufflepuff trait, which is hard work. At school I was never a straight A student, and I always knew that I was never going to get straight A's, but I actually did all right because I always put the work in, and I didn't get straight A's, but I did get into my first choice of university, and I feel like I have turned out pretty okay on the whole of things, and I do think that is a lot down to all the hard work that I did feel like I had to put in when I was at school. Another Hufflepuff trait, and this is one that I really love, is that we are a house that accepts everyone for who they are. And there's actually a verse in one of the Sorting Hats rhymes that I'm going to read out to you. I wrote it down because I just loved it, and I'm so proud of Hufflepuffs in this little verse. It is: said Slytherin, we'll teach just those whose ancestry is purest. Said Ravenclaw, we'll teach those whose intelligence is surest. Said Gryffindor, we'll teach all those with brave deeds to their name. Said Hufflepuff, I'll teach the lot and treat them just the same. I'll teach the lot and treat them just the same. Isn't that beautiful? And that makes me so proud to be a Hufflepuff. Just the fact that we will get on with everybody, we will accept everybody for who they are, doesn't matter age, gender, sexuality, race, religion. We will give you a chance, and if you turn out to be an idiot, then we will show you the door, but we will always give you that first chance, and I absolutely love that. It makes me so proud. It literally touches my heart, and I feel like such a nerd for saying that, but it's so true. Another Hufflepuff trait, which is definitely me, is that Hufflepuffs avoid confrontation, and I avoid confrontation like the plague. If I have a problem with someone, I will just talk to them calmly and try to reason with them, and if they get angry, if they start to raise their voice, I will immediately just back away because I do not like arguing, and I don't actually do it very much because I avoid it. I actively avoid it. I hate it so much because I just want to get on with everybody, and I don't really think that's a lot to ask. But yeah, I will never ever get into any kind of serious, aggressive confrontation with anybody. I just hate it. Another Hufflepuff trait that is definitely me is that we are very uncompetitive, and I know that that may seem as some kind of weakness, but I actually don't really care whether I win a game or anything like that. Whether I'm winning any sort of game, I just don't care about winning. It's nice if I do, but I won't actually strive for it. Also, when it comes to YouTube, I'm not actually that bothered about the number of subscribers I get, which, you know, I know a lot of you will be like, well, don't you want to reach as much people as possible? Yeah, it would be great, but I'm not bothered about getting to, you know, the really high numbers of subscribers. I just make YouTube videos because I find them fun, and apparently a lot of other people like watching me as well, which is awesome. But I'm never going to be one of those YouTubers that does stuff just for subscribers. I don't really like that, and because I'm not really very competitive, it's just not in my nature to. Another Hufflepuff quality that is definitely me is that we are really good at finding things, and I live in a pretty messy room. I don't tidy very often. I probably should tidy more, but I never ever lose things. I live in total mess, but I know where everything is, and I really love that. I know I'm pretty lucky because I know that, you know, messy rooms tend to mean, like, you know, messy minds, and I do have a messy mind. You know, I'm quite open about that, but I know where everything is, both in my mind eventually and in my physical space. We're pretty good at finding things, and also I'm pretty good at researching stuff as well. I've had to do research for most of the jobs I've had, all through school and uni as well, and I feel like I'm a pretty good researcher. If I want to find something out about you or anything, I will, and I will put the dedication and the hard work into finding it. Another Hufflepuff quality that is definitely me is a love of nature and animals, and that is definitely me. I have a huge love of animals, particularly cats, all species of cats, big cats, little cats, and everything in between. Absolutely love cats, but I do love dogs as well. There's pretty much no animal that I really dislike, and maybe sharks, but then sharks are like terribly scary, and I don't really like snakes either, but then I still wouldn't like hurt them or go out to, you know, get rid of them or anything like that. Even insects, I don't kill them. I just, you know, put them out the window because I do, like, literally love animals. I'd spend like quite a few days a year in zoos and wildlife parks and that because I just love seeing them and love finding out about them, and I watch a lot of like David Attenborough documentaries and things like that. Love animals, really love them. Another Hufflepuff quality is that we are dreamers. And of course I'm a dreamer. To be honest, I don't really live in this world. I live in some sort of reality that I've created in my head, and when I have to come out of it, I get very distressed and very anxious, and I think that's probably where a lot of my problems come from, if I'm going to be totally honest with you. Another Hufflepuff quality is that we are very modest. I am very modest, and I find it very difficult to big myself up and talk about my achievements and basically promote myself. I find that very difficult, so therefore job interviews and job applications are literally my worst nightmare because that's ultimately what you have to do in order to get the job, and I just find it so difficult, and apparently that's a Hufflepuff trait, so that's probably where I get it from. And the last Hufflepuff trait, which is definitely me, is that we are misunderstood, and I sometimes feel like I am as well. I feel like people take the things I say not in the way that I intended them, and we are, as Hufflepuffs, are misunderstood by everyone that's not a Hufflepuff because they kind of feel like Hufflepuff is the house for talentless, generic witches and wizards, and we're not. We're actually probably the best friend and boyfriends or girlfriends that you could possibly have. So if you have a Hufflepuff friend, I have to say that you are incredibly lucky, because actually I think everyone should want to be a Hufflepuff because we're definitely the best house. So what qualities of your Hogwarts house do you identify with? I would absolutely love to know. I will leave all of my social media in the description down below. I hope you're having an awesome day, and I'll see you very soon for another video. Bye bye.